When you file bankruptcy in Oklahoma, do you get to keep your house? Do you get to keep your truck? Those are questions we get a lot because they're really important. All right, we're going to unpack this one at a time. First, we're going to talk about your home. When we talk about your home in bankruptcy, there's two major players in the bankruptcy system that we're concerned with. Number one, there's a bankruptcy trustee. The bankruptcy trustee is the one in charge of determining, is this an asset that you get to keep? Is it something you need for your reorganization? Am I going to sell this and give money to your creditors? So we got to think about the trustee. But most people have a mortgage. So we're also going to be thinking about your mortgage company. So when we file a bankruptcy and you own a home, the first thing that's really important to know is that in Oklahoma, we have a homestead exemption that's 100%. No matter what the value, the dollar amount value of your home is, it's protected from the bankruptcy trustee. Now, there's some exceptions. If your house is on a lot of acreage and it's inside the city, that may not all be protected. If you very recently acquired your house and you just moved from across state lines, that can get complicated. If you're running a business out of your house, that can get complicated. But for the most part, for 99% of our clients, the answer is your home is fully protected from the bankruptcy trustee, which means all we have to worry about is your lender, usually your mortgage company. First thing we want to make sure, as best you can, get caught up on those mortgage payments before you file bankruptcy. Then the lender's not going to have anything to complain about. Make your payments, pay for your insurance, pay for your taxes. Lots of mortgage companies put those in escrow, meaning they pay those for you. But there's a lot of smaller banks and specialty loans where you don't pay your taxes and insurance through your regular payment. So if you want to keep your house when you file bankruptcy, you make sure that the homestead applies to you. It probably does. And then you make sure your payments, your taxes, and insurance are current. Now, if they're not, we can file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy and protect that home. We use the Chapter 13 to fix those payments over the next 5 years. There's a method for you even if you're not current. And that works for taxes too. But for most folks, the easy approach here is you protect your home from the trustee, pay your mortgage payments, and that's really it. Now, trucks, vehicles, this is getting a little more complicated. Again, we have to look at the bankruptcy trustee, and this time we have to do math. What the Oklahoma legislature provides is that you get to keep up to $7,500, $7,500 in equity in your vehicle. That's protected. And if you're doing a joint case and both your names are on the vehicle, you could stack those equities on top of each other and protect either $15,000 in one vehicle or $7,500 over here and $7,500 over here. What do we mean by equity? We're looking at if you were to sell the truck or car and pay off the loan, how much money would you walk away from? We call that equity. Now, if you don't have any equity, you're what we call underwater. So, first thing that we're looking at is we're running some math analysis. Kelley Blue Book's a decent place to start. Facebook Marketplace, all of those are a decent place to start. When you hire my law firm, though, we're going to actually run a VIN number specific analysis for your truck. This is the same methodology that insurance companies use. We've got a special website through J.D. Power and Associates where we get a dollar value, not for a truck, but for your truck, because we want to be confident on these numbers. Then, number two, once we've decided that we don't need to worry about the bankruptcy trustee, the next thing we need to figure out is what are we going to do about your lender? Now, in another video, we talked about 4 options. We can surrender that vehicle, we can reaffirm the vehicle, we can retain and pay, or we can do a redemption. All 4 of those are options. Obviously, at the surrender, you wouldn't be keeping your truck, but we will either do a reaffirmation, a retain and pay, or a redemption on your vehicle. And one of those 3 methodologies is a way for you to keep your vehicle. So, with every asset analysis in bankruptcy, but especially your home and your truck, we're looking at two main things. How is the bankruptcy trustee going to look at this? And how is my secured creditor going to look at this? And the two most important things are you making your payments? And is there a bankruptcy exemption statute that protects you? So that's why you talk to an attorney, because every situation's different. There's some loopholes on the homestead, there's some math that needs to be done on the vehicles, and there's some legal advice that we need to be giving you about which way of keeping your truck is the best way to do it. But bottom line, if you are making your payments, we can use a Chapter 7 to keep your house and your truck. And if you're behind on payments, whether it's your house or your truck, we can fix that in a Chapter 13. So, stay tuned for the next one.